All right, we're recording.
There we go. All right, first. Oh, you're in your 30s, by the way, when you it's a seltzer, not a beer.
Yeah,
when you hear that noise, yeah. But although I gotta say, as Giants fans, we could use some adult beverages right now after that shit fest we just watched right there.
I don't know if anything will help us at this point.
I know you're not a drinker, Mike. It might be time to start now. I know you have a few that I left at your place. I know you do. It can be time. Buddy.
Oh yeah, left over from the
Quick housekeeping note. We're doing this. It's like a special late night Monday thing. There's gonna be a bunch more content up tomorrow because I believe the plan is just to do this and throw it up. So do this, throw it up, and then the other stuff. There's gonna be more stuff up tomorrow. We're just full of content here at the Nosebleeders. Brian's not on with us tonight. Brian has a real job.
I'm wearing glasses, by the way, because I got resin in my eye because I was doing some action figure casting. I got it.
That is on brand for you, Mike Segura. Oh yeah. Oh, by the way, take a look at that. I got 2 Band-Aids on because I'm bleeding.
I thought you bled to death. I didn't hear back from you.
No, what happened was the room that I'm in, it's like the office room. My girlfriend uses it for art stuff. I use it for video games in this show. And she had this knife laying out, and I didn't see it under my laptop. So when I was moving everything to set it for the show, I felt this sharp pain, and I'm like, ow! And I just looked down, and there's like this long slice in the side of my hand.
She's trying to kill you? It's like booby traps.
Yeah, no.
What kind of knife is that?
This is like I don't know exactly what this is for. It's like some kind of box cutter. She's been using it to cut plexiglass. I think it's like a glass plastic cutter of some sort, I guess. I'm not artsy like she is, but anyway.
Killing your boyfriend knife.
I mean, hey, leave no evidence, I guess. Leave no trace. Yeah. All right, so let's. So I actually mentioned, and you're going to see this on the show, where I was like, I don't even want to talk about the Giants because we were obviously rooting for them going into this game, but I had a bad feeling. I think a lot of people did. I wasn't really as high on them as a lot of people were, so I was going and expecting at least a good game, and this was not a good game. This was trash. And Mike, I think you got more thoughts than me on this, so you take the floor while I sip my seltzer here.
I said a lot of bad words tonight that I don't regret. Honestly, because I've been saying it for the past, I don't know how many seasons, that Daniel Jones sucks. He sucks. I'm sorry. He's probably a great guy. You want to go have a beer or a seltzer. Cool. He's not the guy. He's not the quarterback. He's been with this team for 5 years, and they still haven't figured out he can't play. Here's the problem. Okay. I sent you that clip that somebody posted of there were 5 offensive linemen, 4 defenders, all 4 of Seattle's rushers beat the 5 Giants linemen. So the offensive line,
and that's where
sucks.
I think people who like Jones will push back, is because the problem with this team for the last 7 or 8 years now has been the fact that the QBs have fucking no protection ever. It just feels like they're running for their life on every single play. And if you can't at least plant to throw a football, bad things are going to happen to your team.
To me, though, this is such a quarterback-driven league now more than ever before. We see how dirty they've done the running backs. They're like irrelevant now. They're just little role players, which is insane to me. Because I was always my favorite player was Rodney Hampton. If I ever could play football, I would want to be a running back. If that means anything. But the point is that
we're gonna start calling you Rodney now.
Call me Rodney. I'll take it. Yeah. Rodney Screwy. So Hampton Screwy. So, but the problem is that good quarterbacks make their team better. It's the head of the thing. It's the brain. It's what leads everything.
They say the fish stinks from the head.
Exactly.
When bad things happen. Yeah.
If you were a good quarterback, you would make plays. You would make the defense. The defense knows they could rush. They know they can get to him. If he was a good quarterback, he would make plays, and they would change their whole defensive scheme. They wouldn't be trying to rush him. And on top of it, he's a scrambling quarterback, and he cannot evade these defenders. So you would think, oh, well, if they're going to rush him, maybe if he could scramble, he can get away. He still can't get away. They have no offense in the first half. They scored 3 points tonight. And what have they scored? 9 points in the first half all season? Come on.
All field goals too. All field goals, which adds on to what you're saying. That exactly what are they paying him for? Where's this $40 million a year going? They might as well just lit it on fire.
It's such a waste. Tonight was the final straw. I know we said that last week about Zach Wilson, and he had an amazing game the other night. Yeah,
Yeah.
Daniel Jones could have the game of his life next week, but this is like enough's enough already. Like, get Tyrod Taylor in there, get Kaepernick. I don't care. Get anybody in there. Get Trevor
Kaepernick, I
Simeon.
don't. Again, nothing against him. I think he's an interesting character,
No, I
but
think he's out of his
I
prime.
think he's
Yeah.
not only is he out of his prime, but a lot of people I noticed, and again, I gotta admit two things. I'm not like a hardcore football guy. You know, I
Mhm,
can't do X's and O's.
mhm.
And I'm also kind of like I only adopted the Giants when I moved to New York. I didn't grow up with them as a kid or anything, so I'm
Right.
not like I don't have as much emotion in this as a lot of people do. But I
Yeah.
think I did notice with Colin Kaepernick in particular is that a lot of non-football fans have this idea that he is Tom Brady, but they're sitting him out for political reasons. You know what I mean? Like people have this idea that he's like this savior sitting on the sidelines right now. And I
Right.
don't think that's really true.
I
The football people that I've talked to who know more than me, they're like, yeah, he was fine, but you know, he's not this Hall of Famer in waiting that people are just, you know, every owner decided, no, I don't want him because I want to prove that I'm anti-woke or whatever dumb, you know,
well,
unrelated crap.
yeah, I think at this point that's true. I mean, they did come to find that there was collusion against him, and he won his civil suit against the NFL, so they were trying to keep him out.
Oh
But
wow, I didn't know that.
but I think at this point, maybe he's still good. I don't think so, just because of his age. But like, everybody says Kaepernick. What about Kaepernick?
Yeah,
You're leaving him out.
so forget about him. We'll get back to the Giants.
Cam
Um,
Newton. Whoever is out there is not good. They're old, or they're just not up to
well,
par.
and that
Um,
goes to you just mentioned a minute ago that it's a quarterback-driven league. At any given point in time, there are only like 3 or 4 elite guys in the league at any given point in time. And if you look at the Super Bowl qualifying teams over the last 20, 30 years, there really are only like 6 or 7 quarterbacks total. It's the same guys. It's you just and look, the fact
Mahomes,
is,
right?
yeah, Mahomes, Brady, Jones is just he's not a stud,
No.
and on nights like tonight you feel it. And nights like tonight, guys like you, and again, you're not a profane guy to the way Brian and I are. You're not a degenerate, and the things you were
Right.
saying in our chat were you know a lot of asterisks and pound signs and exclamation points to say the least.
There's just no consistency with this guy. He's had more than enough chances to prove himself. Look, I killed him all last year too because he wasn't scoring touchdowns. I'm like, he's the quarterback. Why isn't he throwing touchdowns? And
Hmm.
he didn't have the weapons last year. I understood. And then I went to the game at the end of the year with Scott, and they played the Colts, and he looked great. And I was like, I eat my words. He's good. And then they beat the Vikings. We went to watch it. It was good. And since then, he did terrible against the Eagles, and he doesn't have it. He doesn't have it. Like, what are we doing? Like, you can't just will mediocrity into greatness. Even Daboll was yelling at him on the sideline. So there's something up. He's not cutting it.
I like that term. You can't will mediocrity into greatness.
You
Which
can't. Yeah.
after I mean, not to change the subject, but on the Yankees season we just watched, I really feel like that's what they were trying to do. They were just trying to, like as they say, squeeze the blood from the stone. But yeah, no,
Yeah.
dude, this is a painful one. This one, it just it was one of those things where it kind of reminded me actually of last night's Jets game because there was a pivotal moment in the Jets game during that awful call that we don't even need to talk about it because every major sports outlet call already talked about the awful call in the Jets game. But each moment, the Jets had that moment, and the Giants had the interception tonight that Jones threw, where you both those moments, both the fan bases, you could feel it. They were like, "Oh,
Mhm.
we've got a shot. We've got a
Yeah.
shot at this one."
Right.
And then as soon as both those moments happened, just whoosh, all the air came out,
It was done.
completely deflated. You knew
Done.
there was nothing to look forward to over the entire rest of the game. That was only like the third
Nope.
quarter, I think. So, yeah, it
Yep.
was.
I turned it off.
They just they don't have the X factor. They don't have the Eli. You can put up 2 extra touchdowns in the fourth factor that they had 10 years ago. They just don't have it,
Nope.
and it's just we're all waiting for it as fans. We're all sitting there like, oh, they can do it this time. They can do it this time. Oh,
They don't
you
have
know.
it. No, I agree. I mean, there's still plenty of season left to play. I think the season's over. I mean, what they're going to get to the playoffs and lose? Who the hell wants to cheer for that? This isn't a Super Bowl team,
I,
so
Yeah,
You know.
I mean it's and that's exactly it. It's championship or bust. Like a lot of fans in any sport, whether it's basketball, baseball, football, whatever. It's like screw it. If we're not going to take the whole thing, let's tank and get some better picks and rebuild. And I think that
Yeah.
right now you're looking at a team that is at best third in their own division, maybe a low seed wild card. Like maybe they're a 6 or a 7 seed. The 7 seed gets in now, right? NFL always changes their brackets and everything, but yeah,
There's
they're
more
they're,
who get in
they're
now. Yeah.
yeah, it's one of those things where they're a team that wouldn't have made it before they added more teams. In other words, you know what I
No.
mean? So it's there. You said it best, Mike. Mediocrity.
You can't pay it to be great, and you can't will it to be great. And the thing is tank for Caleb Williams, or is CJ Stroud still in college? Tank for those are the quarterbacks we're waiting on. Tank for him. That's the only way you're going to save this franchise, because Daniel Jones is a backup quarterback at best.
$40 million backup QB. Oh man.
Yeah. At least with the Jets, they finished that game showing that they can hang with the Chiefs. They've already beat the Bills. They have an angry head coach now. They have a quarterback who finally woke up. They're looking for blood.
They have an angry fan base now. I mean,
yeah,
it's rare to see all of sports media. The only dissenting opinion I think I heard was Mike Francesa. Everyone else was just like, yeah, that call blew the entire game. That was awful.
yeah.
I mean,
it was terrible.
It was pretty bad.
The refs were
terrible.
bad.
So speaking of terrible, any last thoughts on the Giants before we throw this? I was expecting more anger out of you, Mike. Honestly, I guess you must have gotten it out in the last half an hour. You've calmed down.
You were walking the dog.
No, I really was. Just walking the dog. One day, Benji, my dog, will make an appearance, or I should say our dog, my girlfriend and I's dog, will make an appearance on the show. He's probably going to bust the door open anytime and jump on the couch. But yeah, no, I had to walk the dog. I had to make sure he pooped.
Calm down. It's 12:05 at night. I don't want to yell. I'm sure my neighbor is already pissed at me as it is, but we have thin walls here. But this is a horrible, horrible. I don't know. I'm gonna eat some leftover Chinese food, I guess.
It is trash. All right. Well, you know what? Leftovers. That's what the games for the rest of the season are going to be for the Giants and all the fans like us. All right, man. This is a good little brief episode. Peace, baby. Have a good one.
See ya.